record that whole first part?
Well, we technically don't start until 6 anyway.
Yeah, you
so
guys are jumping the gun here.
the SOCOM Gear Shaytac M200, which is a $1,200 Shaytac M200, which is a $1,200 sniper rifle, you can get in the mystery box for only $150.
That's a really cool gun. You can definitely. That gun was featured on a cool show called Future Weapons, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, very cool gun.
Yeah.
I'm not the airsoft gun, the real steel version.
Obviously, yeah, they don't feature airsoft guns in that show. The Umarex HK 417 limited edition, the $700 417, that's in the mystery box.
That's righteous.
The Polar Star PR15, $640 gun in the mystery box. So there's a lot of cool stuff in there. And see, the thing is, there's only 10 guns in the mystery box that are $150.
There's LM4s too.
Oh, yeah,
we got,
cool
we got an LM4 PTR and LM4C.
Yeah, the shorter one.
Oh,
CQB version.
I haven't had a chance to play with that yet. Unacceptable.
Gene has one. You haven't played with Gene's little gun?
Well, it depends on what you mean. Because yes to one part of that question, no to the other part. So.
Ooh, okay, yeah. There's lots of cool stuff in the high risk, high reward box. So, I mean, at $150, like I said, you're not really risking much. So it's really like low risk, high reward.
Oh, snap.
Should rename that.
Too late.
But yeah, that's going live very, very soon. Also, something that just went live today is the registration for Bob vs. Tim 4.
Which is going to be... Okay, at Ballahack Airsoft in Virginia. So, East Coast fans, we did not forget about you.
Yeah, we've been hearing the requests for an East Coast game for
quite a while.
Long time.
Yeah.
So we're taking the Bob vs. Tim series to Chesapeake, Virginia. That's where Ballahack is. So it's pretty far east. It's Chesapeake's right on the coast, I think, in Virginia.
I think we're also looking for like somewhere like a little bit on the middle and east coast.
Yeah,
so
yeah. So we didn't want to go to the northeast because then you guys in like Georgia or Florida couldn't make it, or it'd be a harder trip. And likewise, we didn't want to do a game in like the southern east portion of the country. So
southeast,
southern east, southeast.
Okay.
Southern east.
Southeastern portion of the country?
Whatever.
Okay.
So we chose someplace right in the middle. So take a look online for the registration. Obviously, you're going to want to sign up for the Timpire because we're going to win like last time.
Whatever.
Just like last time where we
baloney.
won.
That was a...
But, you know, we're going to need some people to shoot at too, so you might as well sign up for Bob's team, you know.
Whatever.
Just to even things out.
There are going to be some new rules that come out for this game, so I believe...
Yeah, it's a completely different venue.
Yes.
Ballahack obviously has different rules than SC Village does. Actually, we have their rule list and also the liability waiver on our website that you can just download right away. So read that before you start bombarding us with questions, because bet you most of the questions you have will be answered.
Yes. And I believe for this game, your team is going to be wearing green camouflage, and my team will be a mix of civilian clothing and tan camouflage.
They'll have the option.
The option,
so,
yes.
Yeah, you guys are going to be wearing tan-ish stuff or civilian clothes. I actually think it works better to wear civilian clothes only because you guys are like the rebel forces, you know. You're not supposed to like have a matching...
We do, but you know, eventually any rebel force is going to have a trained component of regular soldiers.
No.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's why they dropped the Green Berets in. The Green Berets in is to train the local insurgents to fight more effectively.
I guess.
No, you don't guess. That's fact.
That's more trains going by. Okay, yeah, so the mystery boxes are now live. Also live is the registration for BBT4, so get on that. And
Tim versus Bob for the Eastern Front. That's going to be righteous.
It is going to be a lot of fun.
Can't wait.
Okay.
Blow up your forces again.
Yeah, we're gonna trample you guys in another area.
Look, I'm just going out there to have fun and hopefully have some good barbecue.
Okay.
Oh.
We already talked about Virginia barbecues. Like,
don't say it.
It's not like,
don't even go there.
It's not that good.
He went there.
Just pull the walk away.
Yeah, he does that. He's like, oh, blah, blah, talk, talk, turn, walk. Well, anyway.
There's no info on the paint jobs yet, guys, so you know, that may be coming soon, but just leave it as it is right now. No info. We're thinking about doing it. It might happen. So
yeah, we're still kind of play testing how it's going to work out here at GIHQ. So, didn't you just tell me not to like slam the table?
Nope.
As he slams.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock. Got a lot of stuff on our docket. We didn't cover some of the guns from last time.
Correct.
And we'll get to those later. I want to get Ross in and out of here. Now,
okay.
So get a chair.
Get a chair.
So, our discussion that we posted on the internet that we would be talking about, I think it would be fitting if Ross were in the middle.
In the middle?
Yes, in the middle of us.
Wouldn't I be in the middle since I'm like the mid?
Oh yeah. No, I meant to say that Bob would be in the middle.
What did I just? Jeez. It's a horrible place.
This is why we can't have nice things.
That's a horrible place for a cable.
Your face is a horrible place for a kid.
That's
Where
correct.
you're putting.
So guys.
Okay. Let me introduce Ross. Ross, put that away real quick.
Not yet.
Not yet. They're not ready for that yet. Okay, so this is Ross. He is our new editor predator guy. So we have Josh, and now we have Ross. We've got 2 predators. The office is a very dangerous place.
Joss.
Joss.
We just need a Whedon in here somewhere.
Oh man, I was just gonna go there.
Yeah. Oh well, too late. Joss Whedon, he's a famous producer.
Okay.
Didn't he
Ross,
do Buffy?
tell us a little bit about your experience and why we brought you on here.
So I'm an editor, a video editor, but one of the reasons we were talking the other day in the office, and we were talking about paintball versus airsoft, and just not like which is better, but more like tactically how you work and cost efficiency and kind of what the 2 cultures are like, because there are a lot of similarities.
There are a lot of similarities. There are also a lot of differences. And so Ross is the paintballer. He's never played airsoft, or not really seriously played airsoft, I guess I should say.
Springers.
Yeah. I've played airsoft, but I've never really played paintball ever. And Bob has played both. So
Yeah.
that's why he's sitting in the middle. So, yeah, I guess it's just kind of like an open forum. So fire away, Garth.
Garth?
You know, Wayne's World.
But there's 3 of us.
Who cares?
Okay.
Also, just quick disclaimer, because I was watching some of the comments, this is not a discussion of which is better. Or which
We already
is,
know which is better.
Right.
That's why, right? So, yeah, we're just going to leave that top air off the table.
Yeah, just to clear the air.
Yes. Well, why don't we actually start with like how you got started into paintball?
Yeah, sure. I actually, just to get it out of the air, this is my baby. Well, this was my baby.
Tipman.
I run a Tipman. I used to. I don't play anymore, just because for reasons we'll get into later. But it's a Tipman A5, and one of the reasons that got me into paintball, like you were saying, Tim, was that I wanted something that I could go out and have a good time and be.
Wait, let's pull it up and show it a little closer.
And be somewhat realistic with. I liked kind of one of the things that actually drew me to airsoft after paintball was that with airsoft, it's a lot more realistic and the guns look way cooler. But I liked paintball because when I pulled the trigger and I hit somebody, I could see that I hit them, and they knew that I hit them. And I just like paintball because it was a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with what your buddies are doing too. Because nobody wants to. I mean, if all your buddies were like, "Oh man, we got to get to airsoft. Like this stuff is the shit. Like you got to get a gun. We can go play." Like that would have really drastically changed, you know, your avenue, because you're not going to go play airsoft while your friends are all playing paintball. You know, you guys want to stick with your buddies and stuff like that. So I'm sure you had a lot of hometown friends. That
the other thing too is we were talking about is that, like, for those of us that grew up somewhat in the like 90s or like late 90s, early 2000s, paintball was the thing.
Yeah.
Like airsoft was there, but it was very much. I mean, paintball had a whole culture. There was the NPPL, the SPPL, like the leagues. Like somebody mentioned earlier, Ollie Long, like all these guys.
Ollie Lang?
Ollie
Lang, yeah.
And then Bob Long.
Yeah, Bob Long.
He was the one that.
Bob Long, Bob Laws?
No, Bob Loblaw's Loblaw.
Yeah.
That's from Arrested Development. But yeah, Bob Long was.
Yeah.
He made a lot of custom great guns. He had Bob Long Autococker, among many other things. Yeah.
I mean, like that was what I grew up with, just in terms of culture. So airsoft really didn't get popular, I feel like, till the past like 10, 15 years.
Yeah, I don't know if that airsoft really took off until the 2000s-ish, maybe the late 90s or so, because the technology wasn't really there for a lot of people to be able to play. I mean, airsoft's been around since the 70s, you know, in Asia, but it really didn't start. Asia?
Nope, never heard of it.
Thanks to Georgia. So yeah, I mean, it just didn't really take off in the United States, probably for economic reasons, but also, yeah, I mean, there weren't that many people producing it until the early 2000s or late 90s or so. So definitely at the time that we were growing up, paintball was the big thing, you know, when you're about 10, 13, 15, that age. So paintball was huge.
But I will say this, as kind of like just in the past recent years, I think more people have kind of, and this prompted our discussion the other day, more people have moved from paintball because, like Tim was saying, when you're 13 and 14, like when I was 13 and 14, one of the things that I didn't get into paintball as quickly was because I was like, man, I have to spend so much money every time I buy paintballs.
It's like 40 or 80 bucks every time you go out and play.
But with Airsoft, I feel like younger kids are like, oh, cool, I can go play for really cheap. And no one's thinking, oh, I have to go drop 50 bucks for a day. Like, that blows.
No, the Airsoft is way better than paintball economically, simply because of the ammunition. Yeah, that's the thing that you go through. That's the only
rechargeable batteries too.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, you don't need to buy balls or paintballs and air. You just recharge your battery. You know, it's a one-time investment for a battery and a charger for most AEGs now. If you're like Bob and you like to play with gas guns, then you do have to make that investment for gas. But I mean,
well, depending on what you use, like if you have a gas gun that can accommodate propane, then you can buy a couple propane cans. And you're set for
super cheap.
It's so cheap. But it's interesting because when I got into airsoft, I was actually playing paintball with all my buddies, and I told you this before, but I actually got an airsoft gun and had my buddies try it, and then after that, they were all set to play airsoft. So it's just like you kind of got to convert your friends if they're all playing paintball, or I mean, to be honest, we played for quite a while, and I noticed that a trend right after I started playing is that some of the paintball guns, like this one specifically, they started going for a more military look. Like
we actually have a paintball M4 around here somewhere.
A RAP 4, yeah.
A RAP 4.
It's in the box behind me.
Yeah, no, it's here in the studio. We were going to use it for.
Well, we took it, I believe, we took photos of it for the politicians in Sacramento, because the crazy thing is that paintball guns, for some reason, are not covered under the law that says you have to sell guns with orange tips. So these Sacramento politicians were saying, oh, these guns are so dangerous, but then you have the paintball guns that look just like the real thing too, and don't have orange tips.
It's because it's a paint marker. It's not a paint gun.
It's ridiculous.
That's
paintball started off for like a cattle.
Yeah, so you can mark your cattle.
Actually, oh really?
Yeah, so,
oh, because I noticed that one of the paintball guns I bought, the Slider 68, it was actually, the dual use for it was that you'd put scented paintballs in there, mark a tree so that deers would come by there and you could shoot them.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of practical applications, but I think that Ross is correct. Like, you would mark your cattle with a certain color.
Huh. That's crazy.
I don't know why you would need a gun, really. You just go out there and just paint.
Well, maybe you got.
It's a lot easier, probably, than just like shoot your cows.
Maybe you have some really fast cattle you can't catch them.
I don't know that cows are that quick.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I mean, I've as far as getting friends into airsoft, like my cousin introduced me to the game, and then in turn, like he tried to get all of his buddies into it, but it didn't really work out that well. I don't know whether it was like they were just too Chinese or what the case was, but they didn't want to invest any money into airsoft, and so we always played with the Springers and the mini AGs, and so that's why.
It's still pretty fun though.
Yeah, it was still pretty fun, but I mean, it didn't really. We never really got to that level of like gas blowback guns and AEGs, or at least I didn't with that group of friends because they didn't want to. Take it to that level.
That's the other thing too. I feel like if someone in high school came and told me that, hey, let me show you this airsoft gun that you can, spit out 20 balls a second, and you have a magazine with 300 rounds in it, and you only have to pay like $50 cents for that. Let me show you this gun. I would have been all over that because I was very tired of having to spend $80 every time.
I actually ended up going, like, I got a Maverick pump gun, but you remember those? Yeah. But the only reason I did that, like, I already had a Spider, like a regular semi-automatic gun, but I got the Maverick because paintballs were so expensive. I did that to cut down on my costs.
But then you're out there against people that don't care about the
It's already up.
No, but I kind of like that because you get that. I know. I see the people that autocockers, auto mags, and it sucks, but that's kind of why I like the slider pistol, too.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Tidman's starting to make guns. It's funny, we were talking about this earlier. What you're starting to see is, in the paintball community, manufacturers are trying to market more towards airsofters. They're trying to make paintball guns look more...
which is kind of funny.
Which is because a lot of people love, and I like, the airsoft guns look awesome.
Yes.
You never look at your gun and go, that looks okay, or that looks kind of funky. Why is there a hopper on it? You just think, oh man, my gun is dope.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough feature for me to. Well, I was really happy to get away from having to use a hopper in paintball because just having reloadable magazines like that alone sold me on airsoft. I mean, I saw an ad in a magazine. I was like, "Oh, no more hoppers? Sweet."
What's a hopper?
A hopper is this. Go to hell. One thing I like to bring up though is the fact that you mentioned that you'd see people, you'd shoot them, and they'd have a mark on themselves, so they would cheat. But I used to play in paintball tournaments, and you'd see, I mean, maybe some of the more professional players have different tactics to wipe off the paint after they get shot. Like I saw one dude get shot in the chest, did an immediate chest dive, covered it in dirt, looked around, cool. I even saw a guy get shot in the mask, looked around, wipe, got back on the field. Like it's ridiculous for some of the professional guys out there.
Josh made a good point earlier that the good thing about airsoft is that it's very honest, and people play for honor, and they play for like the spirit decor with friends.
Some people.
With some people. No, I mean, but with paintball, it's very much like
I think there are just as many cheaters in airsoft as there is in paintball.
I don't know, man. Like, I mean, you've seen some of our combat footage recently, and when you go out to paintball, like, I mean, you exclaimed this recently that a lot of people are kind of more dickish than normal.
I mean, people just in paintball, it's very much like if you can get away with it, you just do it, and it's not because I mean, and it's sad that it's like this, but with paintball, you're spending so much money to be out there. There is kind of more incentive to not be out because you're spending X amount of money to be on the field. Well, if you get hit all the time, it's just easier because you're already spending that much money. Well, I'll just wipe and no one will know. But I mean that kind of like ruins the integrity of the game.
But for a tournament or something like that.
Oh,
is the burden on the refs to call out the cheaters?
Yeah.
And so if you
that's why some of these wipes is at a tournament.
Okay, so if you can wipe and get away with it, is there a punishment or something if you get caught? Or you just get called out and then
they usually kick you out of the game.
Yeah, at the tournament I was at, you got like one warning, and then after that your team was banned.
Okay, so there is.
But that's just for that tournament, and
there is an incentive to play by the rules.
And a lot of it happens more like bigger scenario games, where you're out in the woods. And maybe, like you'll have, 50 guys in a trench and they're all lobbing balls at you. But if you get hit, you can just wipe it and keep playing.
No one's watching.
Yeah, rather than being honest and
David
going
status.
back.
Well, kind of another aspect too that I was thinking about is it costs a lot less to keep airsoft playing, so you can go play airsoft pretty much whenever you want.
Yeah.
And whereas paintball, you're spending like $80 to play that day, so if people are cheating, that's kind of a big deal. You're spending a lot of money to have a good time, and if people are cheating, like that's a lot of your money wasted, so to speak.
Real.
So I think there's a bit of a contingency with that for the cost of operation, kind of relating to how fun it is to play. Because I mean, it costs a lot of money, and if people are cheating, I'm pretty upset too. So
we did a calculation, and we figured out that because the field we were going to in my hometown, every time you bought field paint and you used field paint, every time you pulled the trigger, you were shooting a nickel. And so, yeah, I mean, just when that's in your head the whole time you're playing, it kind of is. Some of the fun is taken out of it because you're just thinking, man, this is, what is it? After 20 shots,
it's $1.
It's $1.
Yeah, it's a disincentive definitely to.
See, that's why airsoft is definitely better.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's why we're not discussing what's better. We just kind of want to compare and contrast the differences.
And if any of you are thinking about switching or have friends, these are good points. That, like, if someone's like, well, I just don't know. Like, we'll be like, look, I can guarantee you're going to spend less money. You'll still have the same amount of fun. You have sweeter looking guns, but just from a monetary standpoint, sell your paintball gun, and you can get a pretty good airsoft gun for about what you sell it for, and you'll have way more fun.
I mean, not to mention that airsoft guns are way more accurate, and you can shoot further than paintball. So you're not going to run into that situation as much where it's like, oh, I can see you, but I can't hit you. I mean, it still happens in airsoft, but it's at much further distances.
Another frustrating thing about paintball that I encountered is that the first time I tried to bring out actual like load-bearing harnesses, like whenever it gets shot, it was just such a pain to get the paint out of the gear.
Man, I would get. I think we're talking about this earlier. I would get pissed at people. I don't care if they shoot me in my chest, my legs, whatever. I would get pissed at people if they shot me in my mask or in some of the crevices of my gun. Oh yeah, because then I have to spend the next 20, 30 minutes taking off my hopper, cleaning it all out, so that it doesn't ruin my gun later on.
See, I only clean the inside of the gun.
I was more. I had too much pride.
Yeah, I don't have that.
I couldn't bear it to see like paint like in my. I mean, there's dirty now because I didn't clean it the last time I went. And plus some of the externals of your gun, like if you ever take it apart and put it back together and there's paint, it can mess it up.
Well, definitely if you have like a burst round in the chamber of a paintball gun, it's not going to function.
You're done.
Yeah.
Just call yourself out, go back to the field, and spend the next.
That's why I kept the sidearm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, paint grenades.
Paintball sidearms?
Yeah, I had a Slider 68. That's what I was talking about. That was meant to shoot deer scent onto a tree or a boulder. Yeah, it was really cool because you rock it back and cock it each time you fire. It's the smallest, cheapest.
Rock it back and cock it.
Oh god, it's a stock gun, but it was the loudest paintball gun I ever had. It was so small, it was like boom.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So very, very good purchase. Oh yeah, paintball grenades. They're like $10 a piece, one-time use only. Very fun.
I think we've exhausted the paintball's more expensive thing.
That's just because you're sick.
We have a couple of other things on the
Milsim, or big games, as far as paintball goes. There are big games.
Biggest in probably the world's
Decay of
Much bigger
Nations.
than Airsoft, for sure. Like, Fluid Gap is like...
Fold a Gap, that's Airsoft.
Yeah, no, people.
Fold a Gap?
Or, sorry. I'm thinking of the
Decay of Nations.
D-Day, right?
Operation D-Day in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I've heard that's like the biggest one.
It is unreal. I mean, it's like a full weekend that you go camp. I mean, they have like mini games, they have big scenario games. It's really cool. I mean, it's expensive and that kind of, I mean, just like any big scenario game, but it is kind of worth your money because you go camp, everyone's out there having a good time, they're playing. It's awesome.
How many people go to that game?
5,000.
5,000?
Between 3 and 5, yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge game, dude. Like, really, really, really big. Like,
It's been going on for a decade,
Yeah,
hasn't it?
they're up there. I mean, they have a creek and they have like boats that go across it. And,
Oh, no, I've seen photos of it, and they have the front
The
ramp drops
ramps,
down, yeah.
I mean,
no, that's been going on for 15 years then. It's been going on for a long time.
I mean, it's in the middle of Oklahoma, and that's where I used to go to college, and so there's a lot of room and a lot of like cool terrain to play in. Mm-hmm. And like the people that run it do an exceptional job. Mm-hmm. But you know, like I mean, it's kind of like the thing to do if you ever want to go do like a big scenario game for paintball.
Yeah. D-Day invasion.
Yeah, it's.
Do they actually set up something like D-Day where you have to storm?
That's the boats, yeah.
They have
the
hills
front open boats.
with like, so they'll launch a group of like U.S. up, and then the Germans will be on the hills with like they dig trenches. They have ramparts and like guard boxes, pillboxes, and they actually they have airborne units that are like driven behind lines,
just like John Liu games.
I mean, it's a neat thing to do. It's just that you're paying so much for your rounds. I mean, and the other thing about airsoft too that's great that I always run into as a paintballer is that if you're in the field for let's say 3 hours, you're going to run out of air. I guarantee it. And so with airsoft, an extra battery is this big. With paintball, carrying two 20-round CO2s.
20 ounce?
Sorry, that's what I meant.
4 sheet.
So you're carrying 40 ounces of CO2, and that is not enjoyable.
No, it's not. It's can about that big.
Gotcha.
Yep. Gotcha. But as far as like airsoft goes, like I don't know if there's any like 5,000 person games out there in the United States, but I mean maybe in Europe. But as far as like events, there's quite a few all around the country at different military bases. Yeah. For example, Operation Irene, which I don't think paintball would ever get a crack at that facility.
I think airsoft will get there.
The thing about airsoft, I think maybe paintball's like this too, maybe not, but airsoft is not necessarily more fun the more people you add. It really needs to be a fine balance of the size of the AO versus number of participants versus like what each group's objective is and stuff like that.
I don't know, an AO like Lion Claw, I could totally support 5,000 people.
It
there
could.
was times when I was wandering around not finding anybody.
It could, but imagine if you had an AO like Lion Claw with 10,000 or 15,000. Not that it ever would get there, but I mean, you'd run into... It'd be the same scenario as that if you had 250 people in Tax City South. It's just too many people in a small area. So that's what I mean, like, you know, airsoft is not necessarily better just because you have a lot of guys playing.
Well, and I will say this, paintball is the same way. Because essentially what happens, and Tim's right about this, when you have, like, regardless of the AO, or regardless of how big or how much cover you have, when you have that many people slinging paint, it's disgusting in some ways.
It's like nowhere to go.
You have paint. I mean, it's the same with airsoft. There's just rounds everywhere, and so the nice thing about airsoft is that you're not getting completely disgusting.
Yeah.
Rubbing up against stuff, or you know, it's just all about the AO and how big your field is, and you know, so.
Huh.
Anyway, I might sign off.
Okay. Well, I think we covered pretty much everything we need to about...
Actually, I would like to say one thing. Because you have the line-in system right here.
Yeah.
So you can wear a tank on your back. It's interesting now that airsoft, as far as like the past year goes, like the Polar Star setup came out, and the first thing I thought of when I saw it, do you know what a Polar Star is?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it reminded me of paintball because they had line-in setups, and how airsoft got started was the same thing where you had to pump up an air tank.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Polar Star rigs seem to be moderately popular, and people are using them. But I mean, what did you think when you first saw that?
The Polar Star or
the Polar Star?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I mean, it's kind of pros and cons. I would like to be able to have a gun where I don't have to have as much like stuff, because with this thing, if you're ever going through brush,
or
you're ever going, I mean, they make covers, and I actually made my own out of cloth so that I was able to kind of move through stuff without having it snag. But if you're moving through any kind of heavy brush or trying to like sneak up on somebody and that thing snags, it's uncomfortable, and you know, like
position away.
Yeah, and in paintball, I feel like you kind of have to have this because your CO2 needs time to expand. But with airsoft, you know, if you can be the slimmer and the faster and the sleeker you can be, I think you're always going to have the strategic advantage.
High speed, low drag.
Yeah, which with paintball, you never have that. So.
Touche.
Well, I can't give any insight into that at all because I've never played. All right, Ross.
It was good to meet
you all.
Joss.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Thanks for bringing your gun onto the table.
And I will.
It's time for us
Get
to go
out of
into
here.
a pure airsoft discussion.
I'll see you guys.
Get back to
All right, Joss.
Get back in your hole.
See you tomorrow.
Ross, Josh.
Oh, thanks.
I'll see you tomorrow. If you guys are having problems with the stream, I feel bad for you, son. Refresh that stuff.
Wow.
If you're having lag problems, I feel bad for you, son. Yeah, 99 problems.
But it's stream
And Tim 8-1.
No, he's definitely on the list.
Yeah, he's definitely a problem.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the list. I think it's funny that girls like that song.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that girls like any rap songs. If they would just listen to the lyrics, it's totally about downgrading them and degrading them and just like
Downgrading girls.
Yeah, it's totally like legitimately downgrading women.
Downgraded too.
Yeah, to the most, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's listen to my car on full blast. Yeah, shake that booty." I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, you're not listening to the lyrics of these songs?"
I don't know. I was just recently made aware of the existence of rap music. So
Recently made aware.
what are these beats? This is into Club Bob. This came out 6 months ago. Can you send that to me?
50 Cent in the
Well,
club.
you guys should tell that story.
That marks the
for anybody
decline
who's
of
not
music.
familiar with what we're talking about.
Okay.
The story is absolutely hilarious.
I was in college and I was playing, I believe, Red Alert 2 at the time, and I took off my headset and I looked over at my roommate Brian, who was playing 50 Cent Into Club, which was obviously a popular song for a while, and I was like, Brian, because I don't know anything about music. What are these beats? Can you send this to me? And it was 6 months after that song came out, and he was like, yeah, Bob, you listen to this stuff? You heard this? And it was like all these other songs, and I can't even repeat them. But I'm really behind. What are these beats? As far as music goes, I'm so far behind. So thankfully, Josh here, our Predator, has pretty good taste in music. So whenever he has new music for our action videos, I always listen to it first, or try to.
Indeed.
Yes.
Why don't we discuss fish?
Yes, I like fishing.
Swordfish.
I like eating.
I love that movie.
Swordfish is a good movie. I'm talking specifically.
Don't watch it
about
unless you're over 18.
Why?
It's
Halle
rated
Berry
R.
has a small scene of nudity in the movie. But if you want to see Halle Berry naked, definitely go watch that movie.
I don't know if we should tell people that.
Obviously, make sure your parents.
You're not
are there
making me
when you
feel good,
watch
man.
this.
Go get the swordfish guns. That's what I was referring to. They're right there.
Swordfish? I love it. Which one is the swordfish? Oh, here it is.
The one that looks like the one from the movie.
No, the two.
This isn't from the movie.
Didn't they have an MP5 like this? That's why it's called the Swordfish.
I don't believe so.
I believe that it is.
I don't think so.
These are two customized MP5s from
This is a Mark 5.
Mark
MK5. Yeah, I believe
MK5,
so.
MP5, whatever. I'm pretty sure. Look up Swordfish online. I swear to God, they had an MP5 with a rail kit like this.
We might need to pause the stream because they're just barely getting to the part where we were talking about music.
I know.
So they're like a good 5 minutes behind.
They're not 5 minutes.
4
behind.
minutes behind.
I told John to look into it, so we're gonna see what happens.
We are aware of the lag problem.
Yes. But anyway, they'll get the message eventually. So, these are the Swordfish AEGs from our tech department, and they are really unique.
I mean, the one thing that set me off immediately was the straight mag, 'cause you don't see that on MK5 or MP5 models at all. But yeah, definitely the different accessories like the flash hider and the forward angle grip.
I think the straight mag makes the gun, to be honest with you. Like, I really dig the MP5 with the straight magazine.
I mean, it does look cool. It's definitely very different.
You've never seen an MP5 with a straight mag before.
Well, I've seen the UMP. That's the one that I always think of when I see the straight mag. But I mean,
in real life, the MP5 with a straight mag is a 10 millimeter.
That's
instead of a 9 mil.
I believe that's 40 cal, isn't it? Essentially.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You should know. You have a 40.
Oh, I don't have a straight mag MP5.
Yeah, but you have an XD40, right? So.
I how is that gonna? Whatever. Okay. Another cool thing about this thing is the fact that it comes with an M4 style stock that is also side folding, which is pretty awesome.
Yours side folds, mine doesn't, because mine is a different model.
Ew, mine's so much cuter.
But yeah, these are definitely cool guns. I mean, this is kind of catering to everybody that's always like, oh, you guys always make M4s. Well, we don't always make M4s. These are an example of it. So Frank took the Echo One SOBs and added, well, they're called the SOB MP5s, and added a couple of things to them just to give it a little bit of flair. And so yeah, I mean, here they are. I mean, if I had to nitpick about this gun, I really like how it looks. I really like how it's unique, but it is kind of heavy.
That's what I was gonna say. It reminds me of my original Classic Army MP5.
Yeah, it is kind of heavy. I don't know what it is with Airsoft MP5s, but some of them are just heavier than normal.
It's the main receiver. What I think is really cool about this gun is, it has the exposed barrel just like the real MP5 would have if you had the rail set up on it.
Yeah.
This one does not have that, but it definitely looks, I think, a bit cooler.
I don't know. I'm digging these guns a lot. We don't have a price or anything set up on these, but we were going to cover these during the last live show.
I almost grabbed it. You guys were like, don't do it. And I was like, all right, we'll leave it till the next show.
But basically, I mean, these things are going to come, mine is going to come with the barrel extension, Magpul PTS M-Bus front and rear sights, this C-Mini reflex sight, because it's not a C-More, it's a C-Mini. It's going to come with the...
was that a joke?
Holy cow, that joke was so bad.
Yeah, it's so bad I can't even tell.
It.
Well, your delivery was poor.
Whatever, I don't know. It's not a C-More, basically. It's a
Just move on. Move on.
Frank's in the chat. Yeah, Frank, we get it. It's very funny, very clever of you.
He may not have come up with it, but that's what he call it.
Which one is
what he calls it? Straight magazine obviously comes with the gun and the Magpul stock, STR stock on mine. And then why don't you read off the build list on yours?
Well, we have a side folding Magpul PTS stock, which is pretty awesome.
No, the stock is the Magpul. This is the stock, but this is all original.
Oh, this is separate. Okay.
Yeah. Because the original gun had an LE stock on it.
No kidding. Yeah. Which is really cool. I like the sling mount here in the back because that's perfectly placed. We do have an angled forward grip, or forward angle grip as you call it. We do have a Noveske flash hider.
Jesus. I came up with that.
What was this called again?
Hey, get it?
What was this called again?
It's a C-Mini sight.
C-Mini sight.
C much. Or C a lot sight.
Just stop. Yeah, we do have rails all along the top, rails along the sides. I don't know. I mean, there's not much else to say about it besides the external modifications he's done. I do like that it has an ambidextrous trigger and mag release, but that's usually pretty standard on MK5s. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. This is a really cool CQB gun. I just wish it was a little bit lighter, but I would love to take this out to Tech City.
Yeah, something that small would definitely do well.
I wish I had two though, because I could just fold it to the side and be like.
I'm surprised that you don't have two MP9s, because you seem like the type of guy that would dual wield MP9s.
Yeah, I thought about that, but then I realized I couldn't afford it. So I'd rather get like a gas blowback rifle, just to like up the ante.
Dual wield that?
No. Be fun to dual wield 240 Bravo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just get two like badass slings and just walk around.
Yeah. I'll take your word for that.
I'm just saying it would be cool.
Maybe. Why don't we talk about some of the G4 guns?
Nope, don't want to.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Let's do that. I actually really like, I would say like about half to a third of the G4 line I really want, and then the other half to 2/3 I'm tempted to purchase. So what's cool about it is that they have just about everything I want in case I was just getting into airsoft, or at least I had a specific idea in mind. Thank you. Okay, now I believe, let's see, which one is this?
I have the PWS Diablo with me. It does not have the Diablo compensator because...
Mark said he's going to put that on there.
Yeah, I know, but we don't have the proper tool to remove this orange tip, so it's okay, because we still get the point across. These are, I think, these are the CQB version guns, or no?
Yeah, that's the CQB version. I brought up two. Actually, Josh, can you hand me the other CQB version gun?
Well, no, not just in length though, but we are releasing a new line of G4s that shoot CQB FPS, 330 to 350. So, I mean, the FPS for the G4 line has kind of jumped around over the last couple of years, and a lot of them shoot around the 400 neighborhood, which is great for playing outdoors, but it leaves the indoor CQB players, which there's a lot of them, especially here in Southern California, kind of assed out because they have to downgrade the gun before going to places like Tac City or Inside Interactive or anything like that. But now we're going to be releasing a lot of model guns in CQB FPSs, so these may be that.
That's pretty sick.
We won't know until we chrono them, but yeah, I mean, you'll see those. I believe the first set of them are on the front page of our website right now.
Well, I really like at least the G4 custom line, just for the fact that, you know, if you're looking for, or if you have a specific idea of a gun you want, and you go through the G4 custom line,
you will probably find it.
You'll probably find what you're looking for that's already built. And not only did you already find something that you want, but it's going to actually cut down on cost, because we take a lot of the cost for building it out of the estimated price.
I'm not sure what goes into the price. The tech department handles that, but basically, yeah, if you were to buy a gun and build it to what a G4 would be, you'd be spending a lot more money than if you just bought the G4 outright, which is what makes the G4 line such a nice option for people that want a nice custom gun but can't spend a lot of money on it, because these type of rails are the type of rails that you'll find on the higher end custom guns that, you know, are like $700–800 in some cases, but because they're on the G&G special body that they make for our G4 line, it's much more affordable.
Do you have the other piece of paper?
No.
No.
It ends right there, so why would there be another piece?
Well, because I printed out 2 of them that had all the rails on.
Oh, Bob, I don't know.
Okay.
Bob's going to go sort that out. What's the name of the rail system that Bob has on his gun? This is the Daniel Defense Black. Whoa, what is this actually? Is this the MRF?
I set 2 of them down on the table. Who the hell moved it?
What are they for?
I think that's the MFR.
MRF.
I printed out the sheet for.
Yeah, I believe this is a Daniel Defense MRF. So it's a smooth handguard with a modular rail setup, so you can actually move these rails to wherever you see an oval opening in here. So this is actually one of the newer G4s. I don't know if I've ever seen this one, but yeah, the G4s have been a great, very reliable airsoft gun that we've had on our website for a long time. And if you've been longtime fans of GITV, you'll remember the drop tests that we did with our very first G4s. We dropped them twice onto what was basically just a concrete floor with a little layer of carpeting over it, and it held up just fine. I mean, the stock butt plate kind of came off a little bit. There were other minor cosmetic problems, but the gun was able to perform very well after that. You just pick it up, plug the battery in, and fired it, so there was really no problems by dropping these guns. And that's really a testament to the bodies of the G4s, because that was one of the concerns that a lot of people had. It's like, oh, it's a plastic body gun, but the type of polymer that G&G used to make this thing is very, very robust, and it flexes a lot on impact instead of fracturing, which is very, very good for longevity.
There you go.
Especially if you're like Bob, you break things often.
I do. I really do.
Josh, why don't you give us the other G4 models, because I want to see them.
I actually really like this. Did you mention the fact you can move the rails around?
I did mention that is a modular rail system, so that is... You don't have... What kind of outline is this, Bob?
Look, the gun, the rail system, gun, rail system, gun, rail system.
I really like this one.
That's what you said you wanted.
Okay, good.
I like this one. I like integrated suppressors.
Oh yeah, that's because that's the one. I want this one because it's full metal.
I wanted this one because it has an integrated suppressor.
Yeah. Well, Josh built his custom gun that way, so it makes sense that that would be his favorite.
It just feels really solid too.
All of the G4s feel really solid.
I know, but specifically this one in my hands feels really solid.
I really have a soft spot for just a simple M4 carbine with a rail system. Like nothing really flashy, like suppressors in the rail system or anything like that. Just like a real simple, build.
Whatever. You always end up getting the flashlight or the vertical foregrip with the integrated flashlight.
Yeah, but that's my accessory though. It's not like a part of the gun's
accessory.
Yes, it's not a part of the gun's features.
Yes, correct. Let's see, which one?
But basically what we're getting at with the G4s is that, you know, if you like long guns or DMRs or something like that, we have a G4 for you. If you like the shorter guns with the suppressor built into the rail integrated system, then we have a gun for you. If you like the carbine with, you know, regular triangle front sight, or if you like the flip sights with a mid-length rail system, we have a gun for you. Like there is a G4 for just about any purpose you can want or think of. For airsoft, and whenever there's new rails that are coming out that weren't previously available,
they end up going
we
on
make
G4s.
it for the G4s, and we give you the option to purchase that gun with a rail system.
Now what's really cool is that, well, it's not really cool for the folks watching, it's really cool for us, but the fact that, you know, Frank and the techs in our tech department have tried to make a variety of, so much of a variety of different G4s that there are a number of airsoft guns that actually won't ever see the light of day that are basically research and development models.
I posted that picture on Instagram before In front of Frank's desk, he has 2 gun racks, and there's just guns lined there that he's test-fitted parts on, that he's tested compatibility for stuff on, and a lot of them are just going to sit there until something decides to get done with them, because there's a lot of really neat stuff that Frank gets to like mess around with that nobody's ever going to see.
You know, it's funny, when you say that someone has a gun rack for their desk, that immediately makes me think of home.
A gun rack for your desk?
Yeah.
What, your home? You have a gun rack?
No, just anyone back in Bakersfield.
Oh.
There's a lot of gun racks back home.
You guys also have the gun rack in the truck.
In the truck, yeah, right, in the gun rack, for the gun rack, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Frank has lots of guns, and that's really the defining thing between a really good tech and somebody who thinks they know how to tech, is just the vast amount of experience and time that Frank has to play around with the compatibility of different parts and blah, 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 blah. That's really what separates a good tech from a bad tech, because I mean, I know there's a lot of airsofters out there that are good at teching, and they have played around with their stuff, and they have done a lot of customization and stuff like that, but there's just no way that you can have the amount of time and resources that Frank does to test out all of the different things. And so
it's like an airsoft lab.
It really is, and that's not going to that's not to discount any of the airsoft techs out there.
No, not at all.
But I'm just saying, like, from a logical point of view, like, if I wanted to get my gun taken care of by somebody, it would make a lot of sense to go with Frank, because I know that for the last X amount of years, he's had the ability to, like, oh yeah, this is new, I'm going to test this out. This is new, I'm going to test this out. This works with this doesn't work with this.
He's just got like an encyclopedic memory of airsoft parts and real steel
parts. He knows what does and doesn't work. And also the thing is that a lot of people don't realize is that Frank will always tell you what will be best in the long term.
Yeah.
And so I know that there's a lot of airsoft techs out there that build stuff for their guns to make them very high performance.
Immediately.
But just like anything else, like if I were to build a high performance car, it's not going to last a long time. I'm going to need to keep up with the maintenance. I'm going to need to keep rebuilding it. But, you know, Frank is going to get me the parts that I need and build me a gun that's going to last for a long time.
Very true.
An example of that is our friend, Scott Graham. Race car driver. He has that
Sergeant Scott Graham.
Yeah, Sergeant Scott Graham. That race car. That thing has like almost 1,000 horsepower. He has to rebuild his engine every year, I think.
Wait. Remember when he told us recently? He's like, yeah, and then that engine exploded, and then I got my truck, and that engine exploded.
Oh yeah, he had a real rough trip. I think there was some race in Texas that he was driving out to, and I think he got his truck got a flat on the way there, and then the trailer got a flat or something on the way there. And then when he was at the race, he blew a motor, like a piston.
He said it blew up.
Yeah, it blew up, and then on the way home, something else happened too. So that was a rough trip for him. But I mean, that's just kind of an example of, you know, you have a high performance machine like a race car, it needs to be maintained. And it's the same thing for airsoft guns. You know, if you have a gun that's shooting, I don't know what the fast FPS is or fast rate of fire is these days, because the guy's pushing the envelope, but you know, that type of gun is going to need maintenance and more work than the average airsofter is going to want to do.
Something that I'm not accustomed to. So
yeah, I mean, it's something that I can do because I've done it in the past, but I really don't like working on my guns that much anymore. Yeah. Dean, Mark, fix this. Please. Here, take my money. I don't want to touch it.
You remember when Mark was like, God, I just really want to work on a gun. You're like, here you go, play with this.
Yeah, I just got my gun immediately. I was like, here you go. It doesn't have a motor, it doesn't have any of this.
No, I saw you do that. I was like, where's my stuff? And you already handed him a gun. I was like, damn it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe next week. Mark said he's got a lot of stuff to work on.
Now, he may work on my scar, which would be awful nice of him.
You have a scar?
Yeah, I remember I took it to Operation Irene. I was using it in the video.
Operation Irene?
Yeah.
You're using a scar?
Yes, I was.
I don't remember.
Well, you should go look at the video, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I was using a scar.
Frank wants me to call him when we're done with the...
Do you remember when I was going, loading? And I was like yelling stuff real loud for the camera?
Oh, yeah.
That was my scar, yeah.
You're using a scar.
That's
right. I
right.
guess I forgot, because you've been using your gas guns for so long.
Yeah, I
forgot you owned AEGs.
Yeah, I honestly rarely use AEGs anymore. Rarely.
I rarely use my gas guns.
Well, I actually remember at last time in Taxi, I berated you until you put on your sidearm.
No. I'll take your word for it.
Okay, I was like, it's going to come in handy. But you never go for it.
I don't like using my sidearm.
Well, I've seen you reload. You reload incredibly swiftly, so yeah, you really don't have much time.
I've gotten used to reloading.
Good talk.
So,
I thought you were going to follow up with something else, but
no, that's it.
Okay,
I've gotten used to reloading.
Do
you want to get up and walk away so it can be a full Tim Sargent moment? Or?
No.
Okay.
I won't do that. But we will move on to our next topic, though, because
Oh, actually, I should mention that for the G4s that I pulled for our show, I picked 2 guns that were CQB, which is this one and the PWS. This is one of the mid-length guns. We've got another mid-length gun
This
over
is
there.
actually the full FM G4. Did you realize that you pulled one of these? This is the we have a full metal G4 line.
Oh, that's full metal?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I had no idea.
This is not the standard G4. Our standard G4s are made off of the combat machine platform, but obviously, we have some special stuff that's not in the combat machines. But this is the FM G4, the full metal G4, and this is OEM by BFC. So this is very similar to what you would find, Echo 1 Platinum, OEM by BFC, the
Oh yeah,
Knight's Armament guns OEM by VFC, but we have the cool tan guns. So
I really like the Dark Earth rail system. It's
yeah,
really
it
cool.
fits really well with the tan body. That is an aluminum full metal body that is anodized in Dark Earth or tan, and then we have the Daniel Defense. I think it's Omega rail. Is it Omega? Yeah, Omega rail.
Yeah,
7-inch Omega rail.
That is correct.
Yeah, so that is the full metal G4. You did not know that you pulled that.
Nope, I just went down the G4 lineup and picked the coolest guns I could see. We also have 2 DMR variants as well.
Yeah, why don't you have Josh grab those for us?
Josh, we need the DMRs!
Okay, fine.
Sweet.
I'll set these aside. I don't so many guns on the screen.
Here you go, 2.
Thank you. This one's long. It's longer than I'm used to.
And prison. Okay. Jesus, dude.
That's what she said.
Oh, snap.
I was reading some horrible statistics about prison.
About prison?
Yeah. Let's talk about that later.
Bam.
Okay, the URX, which one's the URX free flow?
This is the URX free flow with a built-in front sight.
So now,
this is a really long gun.
What's really cool about this is not only does this gun come with a rail, monolithic upper rail, by the way, with you got front and back sights. This also comes with a pre-installed 6.03mm Type bore barrel, which I think is really, really necessary for if you're going to be a designated marksman or you're going to try. Yeah.
Of course.
So that is a really cool feature.
Yeah. So very few of the G4s actually have. Actually, I wouldn't say very few. The G4s that have shorter than 14-inch barrels and G4s that have longer than 14-inch barrels should have a pre-installed Type bore in them. But when we receive these guns, we get them with a stock G&G barrel at the 14.5-inch length. So that's the regular carbine length barrel. So
okay, so this would be
that would be a regular barrel. I think that you have
G4A1 11-inch Spec V carbine.
Yes.
11-inch. Is this the 11-inch Mad Bull VTAC? I should just look
yes,
on
it is.
Okay.
That's why it says VTAC.
What's really cool is this rail system is incredibly light, possibly because there's
is
a lot
this
of
the rail
cording.
you have, Josh, on your gun? The VTAC?
That is incorrect. I have the VTAC.
Yes. So that's the rail that Josh has on his gun.
I believe I have a shorter one though. That's a
Yeah, you definitely have a better
but
shorter
it's
one.
the same style.
Yeah, it's the same
I guess
rail
you'd say.
set. Yeah.
It's really cool though. It feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wouldn't classify that gun that Bob's holding as a DMR. because
Yeah,
it's not.
I picked something that was bigger than the mid-length, but I realized this is not so much a DMR as that is.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much anything with the.
I think the
longer
G4A5s are the
18s.
DMRs.
18s,
The
yeah.
G4A1s are like the mid-length rifles. The G4A2s are the CQBs. The
Yes.
G4A3s are the standard carbines with like 7-inch handguards. The G4... Do we have an A4? I don't think we do. Anyway.
Nope.
Yeah. But that's just a little insight into our G4s. We got the new CQB version 8 G4s that shoot CQB FPSs.
That's a really nice feature because I definitely, like I've mentioned before, I like having a gun that I can go out and play with right away, and that is key. So, big fan of these. I mean, one of the big things I've been telling everyone for a while is, the combat machines are great guns. What?
I'm just listening to you with a smile.
Oh, okay. But yeah, a lot of these guns come with blowback, which, I'm a huge fan of because you can't, I like blowback in my gas guns. It's nice to get in an AEG. Your smile's really disconcerting.
I don't really care too much for blowback in AEGs just because I feel like it's not really necessary.
It's not really necessary, but it ups
of
the fun
all,
factor.
Of all of the blowbacks in AEGs, I like G&G's pneumatic system the best because it doesn't put any additional stress on the gears. So if you have a mechanical blowback system that requires the piston to catch some sort of sear to pull back the bolt, that's adding a lot of extra weight to your piston, so to speak, and it requires a lot more energy from your battery and your motor to pull all that back. So realistically, it's not that bad each shot, but over time, if you're firing a lot of rounds, it's requiring more energy to do that. But G&G's pneumatic system is actually very clever because it uses the air pressure inside the cylinder. And so, of all of the electronic blowback systems, I like theirs the best, but I'm not a huge fan of it in general.
Well, I don't know. I think that's where we're just going to disagree because I prefer blowback if I can all have it.
Well, you're more of a realistic airsofter, and I'm more of a practical airsofter. So, I mean, I don't know that I'll ever move in the direction of a gas blowback gun because it's not as economical or as practical as far as ammo capacity and weight and stuff like that.
Practical?
Yeah, imagine if I carry 14 magazines.
I sounded clueless.
Practical to a guy who carries 14 magazines?
No, but I have 14 AEG magazines on me, right? Imagine if I had 14 LM4 gas blowback mags on me.
You'd be awesome.
That would be extremely heavy, and heavy is the antithesis of speed, so I don't want to go anywhere near that.
Man, I would run with 14 mags just because it'd be like an extra workout.
I don't want an extra workout. I play other sports for all that. So,
well, I just, for my constant D&D gaming and Xbox gaming, I just need some time in the field.
Well, I see what you're saying. But also, from a practicality standpoint, the LM4s only hold 40 rounds. So, 40 times 14 is not nearly as much as 40 times 100, which is about...
Just be more accurate with your shots.
I could be accurate.
560 rounds versus...
I like...
Spraying and praying?
Spraying and not praying, but I just like hosing people down in full auto because
that's
the whole point.
You're that guy.
That's the whole point. The one shot, one kill thing just really doesn't do it for me.
Well, it does it for me.
Of course it does. That's why you're the realistic airsoft and the practical one that has more fun.
I have more fun.
I have way more fun.
No!
I shoot more, therefore I have more fun.
That is no. I do more crazy things and have such a much better time. Do you have Big League Chew on you when you go airsoft?
I have Big League Chew in my car right now.
Well, I've got 2 different types of Big League Chew in my car.
Oh yeah, go get it.
Okay.
Stop by my car and get it.
I'm not gonna go to your car. I'm just gonna stay in the show.
Alright, so we have roughly 10 minutes left, and everybody's been dying for a Q&A section. I think we covered pretty much everything that we needed to.
Q&A.
We will do that in the next episode.
Okay.
Just kidding.
What is the Q&A?
Well, first of all, I just want you guys to talk about a little bit about what's going on with Barberston 4. Because, I mean, some people just joined, or joined earlier, not familiar with what's going on. Tickets are on sale for everybody who doesn't know. You can buy the tickets right now. They are...
$50.
$50.
Yeah.
And it's going to be at Ballahack, which I am not familiar with the AO.
I believe Ballahack is the largest airsoft field on the East Coast. I may be incorrect, but it is one of the largest.
I think it's something that they advertise as being
largest.
I've never been there. We wanted to go on our trip to Virginia, but there was like a hurricane or something rolling through town, so we couldn't.
I heard about that.
We couldn't go visit Ballahack. I
saw it on the news.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, we couldn't visit Ballahack because of the hurricane. But that is where BBT4 is going to be. It's going to be in Chesapeake, Virginia. Been getting a lot of requests for a game on the East Coast, so we're taking the BBT series there. So go ahead and sign up on Airsoft GI, and we'll see you in Virginia. It's in March, so it's quite a few months
March
away.
16th.
Yeah, March 16th. Yeah. But for anybody who's interested in going, who's on the stream right now, I wouldn't wait to get your ticket.
Yeah,
they may for this. There may not be.
They may not be enough tickets, especially for my team. There might be tickets for Tim's team left over, but probably not mine.
Yeah, make sure you guys get those tickets. $50 for probably the greatest airsoft experience you're probably ever going to have. So Airsoft, like a sniper rifle.
Sniper rifle.
Or the Empire.
Yeah, yesterday me and Bob were doing a review of a sniper rifle, and Bob put an F instead of a P. A
sniper rifle.
Sniper rifle. So pretty fun.
But yeah, this is the first time we're taking the BBT series outside of California, so we'll see where it goes. I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of people requesting, come to my hometown, but we are not opposed to it.
No, not at all. We did play a mini Tim vs. Bob game in the Midwest, though. Do you remember?
Kind of, yeah. We stormed the Midwest, and
I won.
Did you win that one?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, too bad it didn't count for you.
Yeah, I know. God dang it.
Yeah, but we did storm the Midwest, and we just kind of gave people a taste of what it would be like. And the Tim vs. Bob game, maybe we should kind of clarify. It's not a huge milsim event like Lion Claws.
Yeah,
it's a little more laid back for maybe the younger and not so serious crowd, but they can still enjoy the game.
Most of them usually sit on my team. I believe. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's allowed at our games that aren't allowed at normal milsim games, like high capacity magazines.
Yeah.
You can carry a machine gun if you want to. You don't have to limit it to a single squad.
Yeah, and if
you can carry melee weapons.
You can carry melee weapons, but when you're on Bob's team, you can wear civilian attire.
Correct.
So that really opens it up for a lot of airsofters that maybe don't have BDUs or don't want to invest in them or something like that, but they still want to experience.
More of a fun environment.
It's more of a fun, laid
Yeah,
back,
just really
but still,
having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it'll still be serious for the guys that want to win. They're all going to be on my team, and then we're just going to roll over you like we did at
Whatever,
BT3.
whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw some players on my team at Tim vs. Bob too. A bunch of school kids. There were probably about 10 of them, but they all brought their school backpacks, which they loaded down with ammo, extra magazine. Like it was smart. Like
At BBT2?
BBT2,
I think
yeah.
we steamrolled you in that second game too, did we not?
No, I
Yes,
think
we
no,
did.
no,
Yeah,
no.
in the
no,
second game
no,
we did. Yeah,
no,
we did.
No,
No, the first
no,
game was
shut
really
up,
equal,
shut up,
and the
shut
second game we rolled you guys.
What about that time when I went to go into the armored vehicle to capture you, and you're like, drive away,
That
drive
was
away.
a safety issue.
No, that was not a
Well,
safety.
before you guys get into airsoft stories, let's get some Q&A done before
You
see Bob
cheated,
get at
so
you.
you
did
wouldn't
not.
get captured.
Tim's
He was going to
cheated.
roll over your foot, Bob, and what
No,
would that
it
have
was
done?
not. I was near the
You
back
have no
door.
idea. It was really difficult to control that, but Josh is
You're
right.
full of crap.
Yeah, let's get into the Q&A before you guys go into airsoft stories. We can talk about that for literally the next
I
12 hours.
heard
so.
earlier before we started, somebody was really asking questions about the KWA KRISS, which I had the chance to fire last
did?
week.
You got to fire the prototype too.
Prototype 2, which is their newest prototype. The KWA KRISS, if I'm honest, is not very exciting to shoot. But that's a really cool thing because that's exactly what...
Two-shot burst?
I mean, that's cool. But what I'm saying is that the recoil mitigation on that gun works exactly like the real gun
Yeah.
does. It has the vector, like the bolt folds down and, you know,
Well,
it
it
doesn't
goes
transfer
back and
recoil.
down.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, what are they called? Follow-up shots are really, really easy to place with that gun. That's exactly what it's made for. But because of that, I mean, it kind of, to me, it's a little bit in the same category as the Polestar PR15, is that you don't get a lot of feedback from the gun, therefore it's not very exciting to shoot. But it is a really neat, I don't know, I guess direction for airsoft to go.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because I've actually when the KRISS comes out, I'm honestly looking forward to seeing like some folks come out that same design for full-on assault rifles because I can see that happening.
It'll probably have to happen in the real gun world first.
Well,
but yeah,
yeah,
the
of
KWA
course,
KRISS
yeah.
is a really well-designed real gun, and KWA have replicated it very well. The gun is really ergonomic. I mean, as soon as you pull the gun up,
Yeah.
the stock and everything is designed. The sights sit right in front of your eye, and it's really easy to fire. And like I said, follow-up shots are super simple with that gun because the recoil mitigation of that bolt works exactly as it was designed to. So that gun is going to be a lot more accurate, especially in full auto, than your MP9 or the MP7 or other gas blowback guns. But that has been a very highly anticipated gun in all of the airsoft industry, and I think that a lot of you, especially you guys that have your pre-ordered KRISSes, are going to be very pleasantly surprised with the performance of that thing because it's really, really cool.
Someone just posted the Glock mags will work with them. That is actually 100% incorrect. They will not. Glock shoots a 9mm. The Vesh.
I think that they're
KRISS
referring.
45.
They may be referring to the KWA Glock
It
mags,
doesn't
which
work.
I don't know.
It doesn't work. I know for a fact it doesn't work.
Okay, I don't want to say anything like that though until the gun is
Well,
released.
my
so,
Josh personal opinion, not Airsoft GI, but I have seen people try to use them and it doesn't work. If you have a video or examples of that proves me wrong, send it to me.
You're talking about the airsoft version.
Talking about the Airsoft version, correct? Yeah, for the Glock ATP mags and like
I
those.
don't know
kind of
how
mags
anybody's
fitting
going to
in.
send you a video. The only people that have the KRISS is KWA.
There you go. Nobody knows. Well, I've seen it.
Someone asked about the KWA AK-47 GBB.
There's been no information on that at all.
Other than that, it's currently available in Asia.
Is it?
Yeah,
probably.
remember-
Everything always comes out in Asia first because that's where it's made.
I know.
But KWA, they've said it before and they'll say it again. The stuff that's released in Asia is not the official KWA version.
Correct.
It's the KSC stuff, which is
that's
slightly
right, yeah.
different. So you're not if you buy
bad.
an Asian-based KWA gun, it's not covered under the KWA warranty.
No, it's not.
The only stuff that's officially covered by KWA is the stuff that's released through KWA USA. It's the real KWA merchandise. And so you're not really, I mean, I guess there's an incentive to buy overseas because you can get the stuff early, but it's not the real.
I would personally rather have something that, you know, if something goes wrong, I can take it back to KWA and
Yeah.
have them under warranty, you know, fix it.
And
They've
because the guns are not exactly the same, the parts support is not going to be there either.
Nope.
So it's really important that you buy the stuff from KWA USA because they are the distributor for the United States, and they'll be able to help you out if you have any problems in the future, but that doesn't happen.
They're
frequently.
exceptionally good at, you know, fixing problems or fixing them quickly or at least dealing with any issues you've had. Like every time I've gone over there with, you know, some small issue I've had, like they'll either have it done right then or they'll have it done the next day. And that's, you know, that's not to say that, you know, that works every time, but I just know that they're really good at if you have issues, they can take care of
I
them.
mean, you know, and the thing is, they stand behind their product, and that's all you
Yeah.
can really ask from
Yeah.
a manufacturer.
So,
Can you pull the gillied up sniper off the wall?
that's that one.
No, I'm not going to pull that off the wall.
Yeah, it was a
really
prop
big
gun used for the BBT movie.
Yeah.
We're actually maybe going to do something like that soon, so you guys can see a little bit more about that. I know we got a lot of questions, but it is just a prop gun. So.
Yeah, it's an MK96. Isaac 94 answered correctly.
There you go.
Bob, multi-camera ATEX, and can you grab the LM4 off the wall? He cannot grab the LM4 off the wall, but multi-camera ATEX.
I'm going to go with ATEX in this one just because I've seen multi-camera on so much, but period, I'm going to say I like ATEX because the foliage ATEX resembles so much the camouflage used in Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. If you look at the Rebels that are on Endor, they're wearing almost the exact same camouflage. I really like it. I find that it blends in exceptionally well, breaks up your profile, and I do like the desert ATEX as well.
Yeah, I know. You keep borrowing my pants. You should buy your own, Bob.
Borrow your ATEX pants.
Yes, correct. Borrow my
any kind of camouflage works better than no camouflage.
Right,
so
I agree.
I mean, whether you have old school camouflage like woodland or like deserts or
If I am really white. If I like strip completely and lay down in a bed of snow, you ain't gonna find me.
I was thinking of playing the snow though.
Bob, the master of camouflage.
Find me.
Yeah. Have you seen that picture online where it's like an Irish girl sunbathing?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And you know, it says in the caption, it says, "No, not her, the other one." And then you look down, and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah, the
Irish."
really white coat.
Yeah, that
blends
was.
in with the white.
KRISS Urban, what do you want to ask about the Midwest game? We just talked about it. It was awesome. It's going to be really cool to go there. So.
It was righteous. You should check out Bob and Tim Storm the Midwest. The action footage on our YouTube account is pretty awesome, mainly because I edited it.
For anybody asking questions specifically about the fields or the AO that's going to be happening for Ballahack,
we don't know yet. Because
Yeah, we don't know any
been there.
logistics about it yet. So it's
You
still
can
working on
contact
it.
you can contact Ballahack Airsoft though, and they will answer your questions. You know about what their field is like.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure.
still 3
Or
months
you
out,
can
so
find
it's-
videos online. I know there's lots of videos of players that have played at Ballahack that have their action footage online.
I hate him.
Hmm.
There is a gun that no one else in the United States has that is sitting right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Should we talk about it at all?
Now it's 7 o'clock. I'll wait for that.
Perhaps Tim can leave and I'll step in for a minute. We can chit chat with the fans.
Good,
We didn't really get to do a Q&A section. I know people are clamoring for it. So.
Yeah.
But if Tim, you got to go, I don't have a
I
problem
really
stepping
have
in.
to go. Let me see. Frank wanted me to talk to him as soon as we were done with the live shoot.
Airsoft Ashton. Ashton.
How do I like
There's
my
your
steak
shout out.
cooked? Medium rare, obviously. The best way to cook a steak. Anybody who's like, I like it well done, you're just like, why don't you just...
You don't know about steaks.
Why don't
Yeah.
you go eat your brick outside and you can sit with the rest of the people who don't know how to cook
Yeah.
steak?
Do you remember what?
My Puma package arrived at home.
Wow. Okay.
Dude, I bought these really sick shoes with the M.
The BMW?
The
You
BMW
are
shoes.
so
Those are
dumb.
so dope, dude. They're so cool.
You were so... I guess you can only wear them while you're driving your race car?
With your gloves hanging on the side.
I can wear them wherever I want, but I don't know if they're gonna fit me, so I need to jump and try them on.
Well, do you want to stay for a minute or do you want me to jump in?
Why don't you jump in?
Alright, I'm going to jump in, guys, so...
Jumping
Marcus will be
in!
moderating the chat. If you guys get crazy,
I'm gonna
I'll
peace
just
out.
have him start banning people.
Tim's gonna pee.
Don't get out of control.
South.
Sout.
I'm going to come in with something really cool.
Cool shotgun.
Oh,
Alright, so Mark, who's not in the room, has probably more info on this, but this is the Bravo Tac Shot shotgun. Might be a bit redundant. Really cool gun though, because you know it's based off of I believe the Bravo shotgun that's been in our lineup for a while, but they've added a rail setup. The red dot sight does not come on there. We added that just because that's how we use it. Extendable stock.
stock does fold and extend, like you were saying.
It doesn't fold.
Well, it
just-
doesn't fold, yeah. Extendable, collapsible, I think would be the correct term.
Pretty awesome. I honestly want a shotgun with a rail setup, and I might start using
everybody?
this. Comes with a magazine.
Let me preface before we start talking. I've been a little sick for the past couple days, so I'm sorry if I don't have a shave and look a little, what's the word I'm looking here for? Presentable. So.
Well, I'm going to say what everyone else is thinking. Unacceptable.
Yeah, you look like crap.
Yeah.
But anyways, continuing on.
So
this is a shotgun. It's cool. I have a major discrepancy with it.
Let's
It
say
only
that-
shoots one bullet at a time.
that's how these shotguns go. And to be honest, I think the reason for that is the fact that they're a little bit more high powered. This one shoots right at about 390 to 400 feet per second. That's how, like, the other lineups of shotguns similar to this shoot 1 BB, but they definitely have more range. So, very cool gun. I would be really excited to take this out, even though it isn't a tri-shot shotgun. It's going to be definitely good for field play since it shoots right around 400 feet per second. And honestly, I like the fun factor for shotguns because when you kill someone with one of these, it makes the other person look stupid.
Correct.
Yeah, and it also takes a lot of skill to be able to get one with these or get someone with this in the game because you don't have as much firepower.
This is true.
So
I definitely think there's a higher skill cap for these, but
more
at
of
the
a
same
challenge.
time, we We work at Airsoft, yeah, Bob. We can have pretty much any gun we like.
I know, but that's the things I want to constantly try to challenge myself.
Are you like me when I play Call of Duty?
I was just going to mention that,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I figured.
Tell them about that.
Okay, so let me preface that by saying I play a lot of video games. I really like them. They're quite fun.
You play a lot of video games.
Play a lot of video games. But I recently, after playing Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, whatever. It was basically out for like, I don't know, the first 4 or 5 days. And I had gotten so good with the game that I was like, man, this really isn't challenging for me anymore. And I was playing hardcore free-for-all. And I decided that I should probably try to make this more of a challenge because I was just destroying everybody as soon as I got in the match. So I started using a pistol. Eventually, like, max prestige the pistol with all the camos you can get. And, yeah, so I basically have to, like, limit the guns I can use to make it more fun for me. Otherwise, I just don't really have a good time.
Yep, see?
Bob with Airsoft.
Same example.
Bob plays so much Airsoft. He's so good, he has to use a
I'm not so good. I just want to challenge myself. It's sort of like hunting. Now, I would actually like to respond to someone's question there. I think his name is Ollis.
We'll actually start responding to your questions now. Sorry,
yeah. He asked if any of us had any experience with weapons catches. I recently just started using one. Do you have any experience?
Weapon catch, no.
Okay.
I usually mainly use really small, kind of lightweight guns, so I don't have to worry too much about that. Plus,
Okay.
I don't really run a secondary that much. I know you do a lot of secondaries.
I always carry a secondary with me.
Or more.
Yeah, sometimes I'll carry 2 or 3 secondaries. Secondary, tertiary, and...
When will GI be making...
Wait,
oh,
I
sorry.
can answer the weapons catch.
Oh, yeah, weapon catch, my bad.
Yeah, so if a lot of you aren't familiar with the weapons catch, is basically a piece of gear. It'll look like sort of a C-clamp or like, an almost closed one. You can actually Velcro it closed, but it's so that, let's say, when your gun goes black or goes dry, like you don't have any rounds left in it, you can put it in the weapons catch and either Velcro it up or just leave it there and then go for your sidearm, and the weapon is not going to move around much in your person as long as you have it slinged up. So how I use it is, when I run dry on the MP9, I'll put in the weapons catch immediately, go for the 45, and then pull out the axe. So it's actually really handy to have, and even when I have a weapon that I'm not necessarily going to use the weapons catch for, I use the weapons catch to holster my my axe. It's very useful for that. I'm a big fan of weapons catches now after I recently purchased I believe the Pantac weapons catch. Very good piece of gear.
Yeah, Pantac is a really great brand. They make a lot of really good stuff. I really like them. That's where my vest is made. So, someone was asking earlier, I saw in the questions, they were like, hey, are you guys ever going to make it out to Florida and like those kind of southeast areas? I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends. You guys got cool fields out there. Definitely send me a message on Reddit or Facebook and let me know what cool fields you have, We basically just tried to pick what was going to be kind of appealable to everybody in the area and also be a really cool field to go play at. So,
yeah.
And Ballahack seemed to fit the bill quite well. So.
Indeed.
Yeah, I would like to go out to some more fields across the country and meet up with all you guys. You guys seem like really cool chaps, so I think it would definitely be fun. I would really love to get over to England and play sometime, but, plane tickets are not cheap. And going back to the homeland would be really fun.
Half homeland?
My half homeland.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm actually, I'd be really interested to see some of the games in Europe because this guy named Ricard from, I believe, KRISS Overview.
I think he might be in the chat. I don't know. I was talking to him on Facebook earlier.
Huh.
So I know for him to stay up, it'd be like 4 or 5.
Yeah, pretty
committed. Iceland's a little bit of a faraway place.
Iceland.
He's from. Oh, not Iceland. He's from Iceland, isn't he? No?
It's okay. We'll just move on. But Ricard works at KRISS Airsoft, store in, I believe, Sweden. Pretty far off.
Yeah.
But anyway, they do. It's okay. They have a quite large game out there called Burgett. I believe it's a couple thousand people. Pretty awesome. I've seen some footage. I would really like to make it out to that game.
What's our opinion on Zero Dark 30? Oh wait, it's not out yet. We don't have an opinion.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet.
When we see it, we'll let you know. I've heard it might be cool.
Bob, AK or M4? I would actually like to start using AKs more. I really like the M4 because it's so modular. But that said, I'd really like to get a railed AK. That's been one of the things I've been wanting for a little while.
It's kind of the bastard child of both of them, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Nobody likes railed AKs from what I hear, though. But I think they look amazing. So, in my personal opinion, I think they're really cool.
Have I ever been a support gunner? No, I've wanted to. That's one of the things that, one of the few things in Airsoft I haven't done yet. I haven't run around with a light machine gun or a medium machine gun or a heavy machine gun. So I'd love to do that, or at least like be manning a technical and be like, I've been shot at by those folks.
From the technical, yeah. I have as well. I have not yet had a chance to jump on the support gunner role. But then again, I haven't been playing Airsoft quite as long as you guys have, so I'm really embarrassed you guys haven't got that far into your airsoft career. You know, you gotta progress all the classes.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things I haven't done. I haven't been like a gunner on a vehicle. Haven't like fired out of a tank.
I'm sad. I mean, because like when I sit down to play Battlefield 3, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll try out the engineer for a while, jump all the classes. I figured by now you would have gone through them, but I guess.
Well, there's a lot of things I've been trying to do that hasn't fully worked out, like skydiving into an airsoft op. Probably wouldn't be that effective.
That would be amazing.
It would be amazing. It might not be that combat effective, but
just
actually, I thought like I'd be flying in and be like, ah, plop, 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 land. So
knowing Bad Luck Bob, you'd be in a trap.
Bad Luck Bob.
Bad Luck Bob is a new meme that I really want you guys to start. Bob has just danger about him as we make jokes about. So if anybody wants to go out there, Photoshop Bob's face on the Bad Luck Brian meme, please do it and just post it everywhere you possibly can.
I do have a lot of bad luck.
He has a lot of bad luck. Yeah, I can't think of a single time where we've gone and done something together where there hasn't been something like bad that's happened to Bob.
Yeah, like dangerous, just dangerous.
Yeah, just danger is is just the best way to describe it.
I'm just lucky to be alive.
Yeah, Bad Luck Bob. So pretty funny. He's always doing good stuff. So
thanks, Foxtrot.
Airsoft crossbow, is it plausible? Nope. Okay, moving on.
Would still like one.
Yeah, it'd still be cool. So, are you guys going to come to Texas anytime soon?
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to go to
Me too.
Texas.
I would totally love to come down there.
Let
me know when the big operation is.
That's good barbecue.
That's within driving range too, where I think it'd be suitable for maybe a weekend kind of situation.
I actually
like, what, 6 hours, 7 hours?
No, it's more than that. I pondered driving to Texas, and I was told actually, like, get a plane flight and look down when you're over Texas, and you'll realize why driving there from California is a bad idea.
Oh, really?
Just open desert, desert. I mean, you can do it. It's just it gets really boring. So
yeah, no, I can understand. But if you had like a friend to drive down there with you and play airsoft with, it might be kind of fun.
Wait, hold on. GITV fan said something fun. Look at that.
Missing it.
Oh, it said, Bob, Tim's gone. Grab the element.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's grab this. Let's break it down for you guys. Kind of funny story about this gun. Andrew, HKS Ty, who works here, just checked out an LM4, just grabbed it by his desk, put some kits on it, was like, yeah, cool, just going to have this here by my desk. No real reason, so we just built this. So it's like a SWAT style.
I was like, why do you have this gun by there? He's like, I don't know, it's cool. It looks cool by my desk. Don't we get to sell that? Like, I guess.
Probably. So now it's been a mantelpiece on the wall for a good couple months.
Yeah, it's amazing how it just kind of got converted into marketing department use. So pretty cool gun, a really badass setup. It actually reminds me of the M4s from the movie SWAT. Actually looks almost exactly like it.
Yeah, it is. So we're going to Q&A for another like 5 minutes, then we're going to get out of here because we do have other stuff to do.
That we do.
Unfortunately. I got to make all those cool videos for you guys. So we'll take a couple more questions. Paint jobs. Paint jobs are on the docket. We're still considering it. I think it'd be really cool. I know Bob would totally love to start seeing some paint.
I would absolutely like to. I mean, I paint my stuff personally, but if we had a way to get like really intricate paint jobs done, I would absolutely shell out money for that.
Yeah, and for sure, me too.
I think that a lot of the folks, when I told what my pricing was, I think a lot of them were agreeing that, like, $75 for like a rifle, 50.
Well, I don't disagree with your pricing range. It is a little on the low bracket because I think people kind of underestimate how many small little parts there are to guns like these.
Well, that's if you have to take apart the gun.
You have to take apart the gun to paint it, though.
No, not every gun you have to do that. Like what he said last time was that, like, that MP5 we had?
Yeah. They
had like the front foregrip painted, they had the receiver painted, and they had the stock painted. So you had to take that stuff off. But if you're going to do the whole gun, you don't need to take it off.
I think it would be... That's a good idea, yes. Okay. Go ahead and stop right there with
good
that
talk.
So.
All right.
Good talk. What's a pretty good gear setup for a high-speed software download? Hang on, sorry. Too late, sorry. Comment fast.
Shoutouts?
I don't really like doing shoutouts because as soon as we do shoutouts, everybody spams the chat and it's just like honestly so
just like that.
So annoying, yeah. Shoutouts are kind of dumb, guys. Like, do you want to hear 2 guys from California shout out your team?
I know,
like, not really that cool.
Foxtrot,
like,
Mitch HD,
I know.
Scarecrow,
every time,
Dosh.
Yeah, without a doubt.
See, I slipped in 2 shoutouts right there.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Josh and Bob, what are your thoughts on the ATP Auto? Oh man, it'd be so cool if it existed.
Wait, I've seen footage of a kid firing it at SC Village.
Is it out? Can you buy one?
No, you can't. But actually, it's very reminiscent of the first airsoft gun I got, which is the G18C.
Yeah.
So it had semi-auto and fully automatic, and the design looks very similar. I'd really like to have it out. It'd be great.
I kind of like, people ask me like, oh, what do you think about this gun, the Magpul PDR, or like the KRISS and stuff like that. I'm like, the gun doesn't exist to me until I can physically buy it. Other than that, it's still in a prototype stage, especially from KWA. So they're a little bad with that record. But they do produce really, really good guns. When it does come out, you get LM4s.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
Oh man, I really need to get one of these.
Yeah. Well, you might.
Yeah. Don't bring it up.
I'm not.
Don't even say it.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Any news on the KWA 1911 A1 for the U.S. Army?
I actually recently became aware that it's coming out. Tim has known for some while, but honestly, we don't have any more information that we can say, other than the fact that the power stroking feature will be available on the 1911 U.S. Army.
Cool.
So that's a good
That is
thing.
a cool feature.
Yeah. What was your question, Airsoft?
Bob, what is your from? Yeah, post your question again. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Talk about Fluted Gap. None of us have been there, so
Folded Gap.
Folded Gap. We haven't been there, so we can't really.
We hear a lot of good things about it, but I would love to go personally.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
if any organizers for that event would, like to get me out there, feel free to contact us.
Hey-o.
Yeah. Thunderbees or tornado grenades? Ooh, do I have things to say? Thunderbees are great because they're inexpensive, unless someone basically steals your Thunderbee every time you use it, which is what happens to me.
Yeah, they got sense.
Yeah, but they are really loud. There's a lot more fields that allow them. Tornado grenades I would consider much more effective because they basically put 100 to 200 BBs in every direction when you throw it. I use the tornado impact grenades. I've got two. I've also got one timed tornado grenade, which is great because you can switch it between 3-second and 1.5 second.
That is kind of a cool feature. Yeah. When it comes to airsoft grenades, I prefer the imaginary grenades.
Oh. Frag out, and you just throw a piece of plastic?
No, you don't even do that. Basically, you just sit behind a bunker, post up, right? So you just sit there with your team, and if you know the guys are over there, you just yell out, "Hey guys, I'm gonna throw a Thunderbee! Get ready! 3, 2, 1, I'm gonna throw it!" And then you just see the guys around, you just go tick, 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 and pick them all off. So it's free. All it costs is your vocal cords for the day, and really gets the effectiveness.
That's a very good point. Very good point.
I definitely love the faux Thunderbees.
What sidearm do we use?
I have a KWA Mark II.
1911 Mark II.
1911 Mark II,
Yeah.
sorry.
I likewise have a KWA 1911 Mark II.
Hey, guess what Tim does?
We all have 1911 Mark IIs.
Yeah, everybody has 1911 Mark IIs. They're a good gun.
I switch back and forth between that and the KWA ATP.
Yeah.
I've been using that a lot more recently because I lost one of my Mark II mags in a creek in the Midwest when I went and played there and fell in 2 times in a row.
Correct.
Yeah.
I wish that had been on camera. Or I could have seen it happen. Like I said, bad luck Bob.
Yeah, yeah, I was pretty. I almost broke my foot. So
yeah, bad luck Bob.
Yeah,
because airsofting for the first time out of California almost dies. He could have broke his foot and drowned. So.
Well, we had a similar issue at Irene where I guess in the rules, like we were told that in some of the explosions there are rocks. And John Lou was very specific. He's like, read the rules before you guys go. It's really important you read the rules. And Tim and I looked at each other like,
yeah, read the
rules.
Yeah.
So, I remember during the games there were some explosions happening, as they do at Operation Irene, and I heard stuff flying by my head, and Tim and I just had baseball caps on with our goggles, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then after the event, John Lou's like, well, I hope you guys read the rules, because there are rocks in a lot of those explosions, because Navy SEALs want to train real, haha, bring your helmet next time. And Tim and I were like, we're going to read the rules from now on.
Gonna grab a Bravo bump helmet or something.
Yeah, lesson learned.
Yeah, so. I definitely will be running a PJ helmet for that kind of situation. For airsoft
I definitely want to get some of those PJ helmets.
Yeah, for sure. They're really cool. Yeah. All right, guys, that's about going to do it for us. We spent a little 15 minutes for Q&A with you guys, but we do have to go, well, not home. We have other work to do. But
yes.
We do have to go out of the studio. So, yeah, definitely. I hope you guys had a good time. We try to do these for you guys so they are good times. We reviewed a lot of cool guns. We're sorry, Airsoft Urban. We do have to go. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. I hope you guys had a good time. Thanks for coming by to join us. Bye-bye. Bye.